Starting this bulletin with a news alert coming in, Ukraine has decided to suspend operations at one of the 7 checkpoints located in the territory of Donbas, which is controlled by Russian-backed separatists. Incidents of shelling across the line dividing the government forces and separatists increased sharply this week. The Ukrainian government called the ceasefire violations a provocation here. The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe reported almost 2,000 ceasefire violations in eastern Ukraine, the highest number ever reported in a single day. International media in the region reported multiple explosions could be heard in the center of the city of Donetsk. Ukrainian armed forces have released a video showing an army checkpoint in Luhansk being shelled repeatedly. Meanwhile, in Donetsk, men arrived at recruitment stations after rebel leaders ordered a full military mobilization and ordered women and children to evacuate to southern Russia. Civilians who evacuated from Donbas regions could be seen settling into camps in Russia on the shores of Azov Sea. Close to the border, both Ukraine and the West have accused Russia of trying to stage a fake crisis in eastern regions as a pretext to invade. And for more on this, we're now being joined live by Reserve Officer, Defense and Security Expert on Ukraine, Katerina Koval from Kiev. Thank you so much for joining us. Starting with the updates that have just come in, Ukraine has decided to suspend operations at one of the 7 checkpoints located in the territory of Donbas. What are the practical implications of this?
Hello, I'm very glad to see you and to take part in your TV program. Of course, in Ukraine, we are hearing the reports from the OSCE, from the intelligence service, from the intelligence services from the other countries. And I can say that we can see that fire is getting from the side of the unrecognized republics. And I can analyze that it is the provocation from the Russia Federation because Russia Federation does not do it from the side of military troops of Russian Federation, but getting to do it from the unrecognized republics. And as you know, the information policy of Russia Federation is very strong and has intensive propaganda against Ukraine, for example. And in pieces of news from the Russia Federation, we can read that in Ukraine we have such war where the brother can kill another brother. So it is the provocation to make information war, information policy, information propaganda.
Right. And also, how do you see the Organization for Security and Cooperation's report about almost 2,000 ceasefire violations in eastern Ukraine?
Yes, of course. And as I've read and as I see, it fixates and announces that we can see fire from the side of unrecognized republic, not from the side of Ukraine. And OSCE says also this.
Right. Also, of course, many have evacuated the Donbas region to camps along Russian border. This after rebel leaders called for mass mobilization. Is this an early indication of Russian invasion or a false flag?
It is one of the variants of Russian invasion, because Russian invasion is the hybrid war. It consists of war with troops. It consists of information war. It consists of energetic war and other types of wars. And for example, we can see that, yes, evacuation from the from Donetsk and from Luhansk on the east of Ukraine to Rostov-on-Don. It is the city of Russia Federation. Of course, it is one of the variants to show it in information policy of Russia Federation. For example, that Ukraine kills brothers, brothers kills brothers, and Russia helps and evacuates the citizens. Of course, it is terrible, but we should understand that it is information war both from the Russia Federation. But I would like to say that, for example, in 2014 and in 2015, from the side of Russia was the shooting of civilian buses in Donetsk, in Luhansk regions. And I want to say that our citizens should not believe in this evacuation. What guarantee do they have? For example, if they sit to these buses and there will be no provocation, no shooters. So I don't believe. So we should understand this.
All right, Ms. Kowal, do stay with us. We will come back to you. Now, the United States and European allies have raised concern over the timing of Russia's military drills. Amid heightened tensions, the Russian President Vladimir Putin launched strategic nuclear drills. Videos show intercontinental ballistic missiles being launched during the training. The Defense Ministry also released footage showing a missile carrier taking off loaded with a cruise missile. The exercises displayed on the Western onlookers Russia's military might. Now, Vladimir Putin and his weather ally Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko oversaw the dramatic military exercises. Once again, going back to Ms. Katerina Kowal, thank you so much for staying with us. What will be the way forward if Russia does not pull troops after the drills end? We know that the Western Ukraine have reiterated that there hasn't been any significant reduction in troops despite Russian claims.
Thank you for the question. Of course, we should understand, and as a reserve officer, infantry, I can say that Russian military training near the borders, it is maneuvering. For example, this battalion is based in here for the military training, for example, for 3 months. And after they stop and finishing their military training, they go away from this concrete place. But another battalion can replace this battalion on this place and take a new military training on this place, because it is maneuvering. So if Russia Federation stops this military drilling, this guarantees nothing. It means that it is maneuvering, and of course, in the information policy of Russia Federation, they would like to demonstrate pressing, because it is pressing near the borders. We know that from 2014 we have war, that Russia invaded Ukraine, and it is pressing for every citizen of Ukraine and the whole world to make a question: will Russia Federation invade Ukraine or not?
Right.
So it is a hybrid war.
Right. Ms. Katerina Kowal, thank you so much for joining us with all your insights on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.